context, I've been thinking a lot, as you already know. You know, and I haven't done stand-up for a couple of weeks, and I've just been thinking a lot about my stand-up, and I've been watching other people do stand-up, specifically women, and y'all know how I feel about that. I would be called a sexist by most people in today's age, but it's not because I don't believe that women can do things that men can do. It's because gender roles are gender roles for a reason. And so, while the equality business is a booming business, and you'll probably go broke if you don't join it, I have to be real about certain things. Otherwise, I hate myself. If I deny any piece of the truth, I hate myself for it. And I call myself a pussy over and over and over again. But women are fucking killing it right now with the comedy. And the reason for that is because social media has sucked the life and the joy and the authenticity out of everything. And so while men are still writing really good jokes, and their delivery's still good, and there's a lot of people that I've discovered recently, and I'm so grateful. Because, you know, I was wrong. And I'm glad to be wrong. Y'all know I love it whenever I'm wrong. I rejoice. But comedy is definitely not dead. It's just that the truth-telling part of it is definitely dead. I think that people are still saying offensive stuff. It's just that you can't tell too much of the truth, because if you do, you either won't have a career or you won't have a life, or your family members get taken out. You know, I really do believe in stuff like that, you guys. And perhaps it's this conspiratorial, paranoid mindset that I have that's keeping me from being able to be successful in the real world. I mean, it's pretty cool, like, doing what I'm doing. You know, I'm really glad that, you know, I've discovered the things that I've discovered, because, you know, my life has significantly changed. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I've figured out. And, you know, I was thinking about how the piano punk thing, it's like I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't allow myself to suck. If I didn't allow myself to look stupid and sound stupid, and if I was still so concerned about, you know, what other people thought of me. And I mean, there's no way I'd be able to do stand-up. There's no way I'd be able to make art and put it on the internet. But I think that I need to get over the whole, like, what if I sound like a cunt? And I know you're probably going to find this shocking, but that does actually affect me. I mean, I know that people leave my channel because they disagree with my beliefs. So So it's like they like certain things that I say, and then they keep listening, and they'll find my viewpoints objectionable. It's the wiser ones that actually appreciate art, and that they appreciate what comedy is and what comedy's for. You know, that can go, oh, okay, I don't have to agree with her on everything. I mean, I don't have to agree with people on anything, really. I mean, they're still human. I agree with humanity. So I think it's kind of weird that, well, maybe it's not weird. Maybe it's just part of the course. It's like people are like choosing synthetic shit. I mean, there are a lot of really talented people that are using AI to like represent them. Rather than doing like a screenshot of themselves, they're using AI. It's terrible. It's fucking disgusting. I want to throw up every time I see it. And it's like so many people are doing it. Because they think it looks better. And I'm telling you, it doesn't. It doesn't. I would rather you be lame and boring than fake. I would rather you be terrible at what you do than have a fucking robot do it for you. You know? And look, I understand that you can use the AI for certain things. I'm specifically talking about art. Okay? It's so revolting. Anyway, sorry, that was a little side rant about AI. But it's not the AI's fault either, okay? So don't blame the AI. It's the people that are so lame and bereft of creativity that they're like, okay, I'll just trust this robot. It's like you could hire a person to do what the AI is doing. I know people don't want to do that, I guess, because it's money. The AI is free, right? Well, somewhat. Probably cheaper than paying somebody, but when you pay somebody that's a human being doing something that you asked them to do, so it's an exchange. It's a human to human exchange, and you get real art. I just don't understand how people think it looks better. But whatever, that's on them. I don't know why, you know, it's none of my business, but I'm making it my business. But yeah, so crowd work in stand-up comedy is super popular, and women are exceedingly good at that because, you know, women need therapists. I don't know how obvious this has to get, but yeah, women need therapists. They need somebody to talk to about their emotional shit. They can wrestle with it, you know? And so I think that's why they're doing so well with the stand-up. It's because, like, women are trying to provide what they need themselves. And so, you know, when I went to see Ruby Setnik, she devoted about maybe 15 minutes to just crowd work, where she was just like asking the audience questions. And I hated this part of the set. I hated it. But I mean, she still said funny stuff about what was said, but I just think it's like lazy, you know, not on her part, but just like with the comedy where it's like, okay, now I'm gonna let the audience direct where this is gonna go. But it's like women are just capitalizing on you know what's popular right now. Like if I talk about, you know, just like liberals that think they have to badmouth Trump and conservatives thinking they have to just get up there and be racist because it's offensive. You know, it's like people are just capitalizing on what they think is popular. It's not about them actually wanting to do it. There's this other comic. If you haven't heard of her, you will. She's amazing. Her name's Amber Autry. And she's based in Nashville. I've met her. She's real sweet. Her whole thing is crowd work. She's selling out everywhere. Okay? But she's really good at it, and she genuinely loves to do it. And I can tell that Ruby likes to talk to people too. So I'm not, once again, not knocking these people for doing what is in right now, because it seems like there's a therapeutic need that people have. Like when they go to a comedy show, they want somebody, such as a very disheveled comedian, to acknowledge them and pay attention to them and ask them questions about their life and their job and why the relationship didn't work out, you know? You think that I would be good at that. You think that I would jump on this, but I don't know. It kind of sickens me that, you know, artists can't do their art anymore. Like now they have to devote all this time to like engaging with the audience. It's one thing, like it used to be like, has anybody been to Disney World? You know, that was the extent of crowd work. You know, I ask the audience a question that relates to the joke or the bit that I'm about to do. Now I'm going to ask people questions and try to make that funny. I guess that's practice. It's good for them to practice and be able to come up with jokes on the spot and be funny in the moment. You know, like, but I don't know, this one time when I performed at Bobby's Idle Hour, I mean, everybody was pretty drunk. It's late at night. And I was playing the keyboard, and I was attempting to interact with the crowd. And they liked it. They liked it a lot. The thing is, I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. It's already bad enough being up there. Why would I do something I don't enjoy? I guess for the same reason that you go to the gym. For the same reason that, you know, you go to work, you want to get paid, right? You got to do things that you don't enjoy. But anyway, I'm wrestling with this because I don't understand how I wouldn't be good at this. It's just, I feel like there's just a lot of stuff I want to say that I think is way more important than me, like, interacting with the audience. But I think I just need to find a way to work that in. Now, I guess it doesn't really matter because I'm still just doing these mics. And, you know, when you only have 4 or 5 minutes up there, like, you can't really interact with the audience that much. But that's a huge part of why I think it's lazy, because I've seen a lot of comics that only have 4 or 5 minutes devote their whole set to, like, talking to the audience. And I'm like, dude, do you not have anything to say? Do you not have anything that you have to get out and express? So did you just come up here to, like, get attention and be validated or whatever? But anyway, y'all know the premise of Kill Tony, right? It's like you get 1 minute to do jokes, and if you suck, they'll fucking heckle you off the stage. The reason I'm thinking about that I mean, I really don't like it at all. But, I'm just trying to think about jokes that I could do in a minute. You know, like, I think that's good for me to practice writing a joke that is so good that I could do it in exactly a minute, and it would just be like a Sistine Chapel of a joke, you know? I'm trying to challenge myself. That's what this conversation is about, okay? This conversation that I'm having with myself that I'm allowing you to be part of because, you know, I'm letting you in, okay? But, I really appreciate y'all if you've hung around and you enjoy watching me learn and grow as a person. Hopefully we're doing that. But, you know, what I'm doing in regards to the comedy, you know, putting all my sets online, and I mean, it's like the total opposite of what all these other comics are doing. Because, you know, I've noticed that people are just, like, clipping things that make them look really funny. So they're cutting out the part of the set that wasn't that good. They're cutting out, you know, the awkward silences or the space where people didn't get them. And I don't think that people realize that, you know, this is what the internet's done to people. It's made everybody think that what they see on the internet's real. So I just did this poster. I haven't colored it yet, but I started it. It says that emojis are worse than porn. I believe I made this statement in a previous video, and I said that needs to go on a poster ASAP. And so, you know, much like how like porn will change the way that you look at sex, social media has changed the way that we look at communicating. I mean, it's changed how we communicate. And lowering our attention span, it's had horrible psychological impact on society. Because we're a lot quicker to react at things that we know little to nothing about. Okay, so we see something that we disagree with, or something that somebody says, we don't know the context of it. And it seems like people just want to be mad, you know? And they want everybody else to be mad too. They want everybody else to be offended. So it's not just about a person getting offended because they're a fucking pansy. They want everybody else to be a pansy. They expect everybody else to be reacting to things. So they don't understand a person that doesn't do that. They don't understand a person that's like, oh, hey, what'd you mean by that? They don't understand a person that is patient and understanding and doesn't want to jump to whatever conclusion is most convenient for them, you know? Should I name him Paul? I feel like I should. I can name him Paul or I can name him David. But, yeah, so emojis have limited our ability to express ourselves. You know, when we try to make it short and sweet, it's usually not sweet, you know? It's not. Unless you get the thumbs up. But I don't know, I'm talking out my ass with this, because like there so many emojis. I always forget that, because like I don't have a smartphone and I don't like technically my flip phone still has emojis on it, but it's very limited compared to y'all's cornucopia of little pictures that dumb everybody down. But you know, a lot of the times like I have to squint and like try to figure out like what it is. But it's like when people are angry, they'll give you like this long like paragraph, or maybe it's like a series of paragraphs. So it's like when somebody's mad, they can explain that. They can be rude to you extensively. But I feel like there's legs to this too. I need to find ways to joke about this stuff. Like, because a lot of the things that I say are just kind of statements. You know, I need to be able to find the funny in it. I just discovered this Australian comic with a penis, and I forgot his name. I think it's John something. I discovered him through Ruby. He did one of the funniest things I've ever seen. He talked about a mass shooting, and he played Enya's Only Time on his phone to sort of ease the nervous tension. It was genius. It was genius, dude. So I think that that's still out there. People are still being creative, and please forgive me for making these bold statements because they go along with my obviously very pessimistic worldview in regards to technology. But I think that there are people that, goodbye Thelonious, it's the name of my car, in case you don't know that we communicate with everything, okay? But yeah, there are definitely people that are still like doing creative stuff. It's just, you're gonna see way more people not. Because sheep will always seem more prevalent because they are. That's why they're sheep. Anyway, I'll catch you later, Vortex.